Motivation, if you want to boil it down to something, is just basically your energy levels, your excitement levels. When you're excited by something, a subject, you learn it at a very high rate. Love and excitement and energy are all parts of motivation, and you're not going to be motivated if you don't like what you're doing. So you have to find something in that job or whatever it is that does genuinely excite you, and that will motivate you.
Intrinsic motivation comes from one's inside. It's made up of elements like curiosity, purpose, and mastery. If your fuel is intrinsic, you act for its own sake and win with or without an external reward.
Effect.
Motivation just means you feel like doing something. If motivation were easy, everybody would have $1 million in the bank. Everybody would have six-pack abs. Everybody would be having the side hustle their dreams and taking vacations because they would be motivated all the time to do all the things that get you those things. But that's not how life works, is it? Because knowing what you need to do, it's not enough. It's just not enough. And here's the issue, and I know it because the clock is ticking. Waiting for motivation to strike is basically saying it's never going to happen. You cannot afford to let your feelings derail the actions that you need to take right now. There are things you can do. Step number one, you must remind yourself of why this matters to you. This is one of the most important hacks for self-motivation, and that is understanding exactly what you want and exactly why you want it. Here's step two. You ready? This is so simple. Just do it. Push through the hesitation because the power is in the action. Self-motivation means you understand what you need to do, why you need to do it, and you force yourself through the hesitation to do the thing you don't feel like doing, regardless of your emotions, despite the fact that you're not motivated. You do it because you know why this matters.
So automate, reduce, clarify. Do those three things. That's what's needed to keep making progress in a disciplined fashion on the stuff that's annoying, but has to get done. That's how you avoid just being paralyzed by exhaustion and indecision and lack of motivation. There is an actual boost you get from organization where you say, I've built out a system for this. It's kind of fun to execute a system and see everything was here and it works really well, and then you're more likely to actually do the work. So you have that type of automation. The other type of automation is literally automating it. I'm going to have someone else do this. To the extent that you can afford it, this is where you should be putting a lot of your money, is towards automating stuff in the house, getting household admin off of your plate. You have someone who does laundry, someone who does your yard work, a handyman who comes once a month, and you have this list that grows and he just takes it and does those things around the house. The second thing to do here is reduction. So just taking things off your plate. So when your load is reasonable, it's easier to execute because you're playing with your wiring here. Your brain is very good at the thing's important. Let's set a plan. Let's execute that plan. Let's feel really good because we got the plan done. If you overload that part of your brain, it short circuits and you lose all of that evolutionarily optimized inducements to actually do the daily work that's important. And then clarity would be my final suggestion. You are building towards a vision that you believe in and think is important. You're working backwards from that positive goal is very important to keep things moving.
Motivation is knowledge. You learn how to be motivated. To be motivated, you either change the situation or the way you think about the situation. This is the science in one sentence. You change the circumstances or the way you think about the circumstances. Your journey starts with setting a goal. When we are excited about doing the work, we are intrinsically motivated. We care about the way almost as much as we are looking forward to the destination.
Positive emotion, the joy, enthusiasm and joy, happiness, let's say, is 100% dependent, as far as we can tell, on observations that you're progressing towards a valued goal. Enthusiasm and joy that people associate with happiness manifests itself when you're moving towards a valued goal. So if you don't prioritize your goals because you don't exist within a structure of value, then you have no positive emotion. And positive emotion is half of forward-moving motivation. Well, in fact, in terms of forward movement, it's almost all the motivation, because the embodied manifestation of positive emotion is the movement towards a valued goal. That's what it is. That's why you have the positive emotion, because you are a creature that can move towards goals. And the emotional signaling of that is positive emotion. No goal, no positive emotion. No hierarchy of goals, dilution or eradication of positive emotion. Because if you're confused enough and you have 100 goals and you can't prioritize them, then every goal has 1% of the significance necessary to really move you forward. And so to be maximally motivated, you need to know why you're doing what you're doing.